Today was a double header of magic goodness with Tristan, Franz, and Goga playing in EuroBasket this morning. Let's break down their games and how it's going to affect the Orlando Magic this upcoming season. This is the Orlando Magic Nation, your source for all things Orlando Magic on YouTube. For Magic fans, by a Magic fan. I'm Edwin Valentine, and I want to thank you very much for clicking on this video and spending a little bit of time talking Magic with me. You can do the normal YouTube stuff, hit that like, share the video, subscribe, or drop a comment below and let me know how you thought the guys did this morning. Let's get started with Franz's stats. Franz played 28 minutes, scoring 24 points on 9 of 17 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, which is a very big positive, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Today was a good day for Franz. He shot the three well. He was able to get to the basket at will against a much tougher defense in Lithuania than he had versus Montenegro or Sweden. He was aggressive. He made sure to continue to drive to the basket whenever he could. He didn't have as many fast break points as he did against Montenegro, but he was still able to keep the pressure on the defense by consistently driving into the teeth of the defense. It always helps that Team Germany has guys like Obst on there or Schroeder who are going to be able to give him some space to be able to make those drives. So hopefully, with the new firepower we have on the Magic with Tyus and Desmond and other guys improving, like Jalen coming back and hopefully getting closer to 40% from three again, that's going to be what's going to help Franz to be able to have some open driving lane. So in that respect, it was a very big positive. This was much more of a game that hopefully we'll see when the Orlando Magic start their season. Then we'll go over to Tristan's game. As I mentioned, Tristan's role on the team is not to be the big scorer. He's to come off the bench. He's going to be the secondary ball handler. And the idea is for him to be in the corners and shoot threes. Tristan played 15 minutes. He scored 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting. He hit a three, his first three of the tournament. No free throws in this game, unlike the last game, with 2 rebounds, no assists, and no steals or no blocks. So it wasn't as impactful in the box score, but just as always, he made his impact known by making sure he played solid defense and spacing the floor by making sure he stays out in the corner ready to catch and shoot whenever he has the opportunity to do so. As I mentioned in the last game, this one was no different. So far in EuroBasket, he hasn't had the wide open shots as he had in the EuroBasket prep, but he still was able to knock one down. So in the end, I think Tristan had a pretty good game as well, even though you may not see it pop up so much on the box score. And the last one we're going to go through is Goga. Goga was balling against Italy. He scored in 27 minutes. He scored 22 points, 9 of 13 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3. So far he's 3 of 8 in his 2 games that he's played. 4 rebounds, no assists, and 3 big blocks. So we're going to go through the film. So we'll show you those blocks. Goga scored 35% of his team's points. He was a monster. Not only was he blocking shots, he was able to get to the rim and even hit that one 3-pointer that at that point, once he hits that shot, they had all the momentum in the game. But unfortunately, Italy was too much for them and they ended up losing in that match. But I think for me, the positives for Goga in this game is, again, he called for the ball. His role is bigger on his national team than it will be with the Orlando Magic. He's likely going to be the backup center starting the season before Mo comes back. So he's likely going to be coming off the bench. And if he's able to, in shorter minutes, score 11 points instead, or 10 points, or 12 points, I think that's going to be the thing that we could really hope for from him, because he has the ability. And as we've seen, he's starting to be able to knock down some threes. So he has as many threes so far as Franz has in this tournament, and Franz has played 1 extra game. So we'll see where he's able to. We'll see if he's able to continue it over the course of the next 3 games, at least for Georgia. So now let's go to the summary of their summers so far. So Franz, if you look at the stats here, he's in the EuroBasket. He's averaging 22.3 points, 6 rebounds, 1.7 assists on 53.5% shooting from the field and 37.5% shooting from 3. That's incredible. I think he's also in the 70% in his free throws. So Franz has an all-around game right now. He's doing everything he needs to. On the national team, he doesn't have to be as much of a facilitator because they have Schroeder there, who's going to be the one that has the ball in his hands a lot when Franz doesn't. So Franz is able to do kind of what he does for the Magic. He's the one that is the lead ball handler for the backup unit. He's there, so they split time between Schroeder and him, so that he's running with the bench team. So I think in that way, I'm surprised his assists are this down, but in the end, he's been looking to attack every drive. He's been able to put the pressure on the defense. So I think in the end, for the Orlando Magic this upcoming season, there's a lot to be excited about, especially if the last two games are an indication that he might have figured something out from three. Tristan's role is the same. So Franz's is a little different and Goga's is very different. Tristan's is the same right now. It doesn't seem that the Magic are, well, I'm not sure that the Magic are going to be asking much more from Tristan than what his role is currently in the national team. So it's just basically to be out in the wings or to be out in the corners and just ready to shoot when the ball comes to him. I believe he's going to have a lot more open shots in the NBA this upcoming season than he has so far in these three games in EuroBasket. Guys have been staying home on him, so he hasn't been able to be wide open and catch and shoot, as I mentioned before. That's why his numbers are a little down. At EuroBasket right now, Tristan is averaging 5.3 points, 3 rebounds, and zero point 0.3 assists. He's a much better passer than that. He just hasn't had the ball in his hands too much. As I mentioned, Franz normally will have the ball with the bench unit. He's shooting 33% from the field and 14%, not so great, 1 of 7 from three-point land in their 3 games so far. But Team Germany has so much offense. They're scoring over 100 points a game in a 40-minute game. They're scoring a lot right now. So they, even with against Lithuania, which is a better team than the last two opponents, they couldn't be stopped. So we'll have to see what the tournament has to hold for those for the team as a whole. But for our two guys that we're mostly focusing on, they seem to be doing well in the EuroBasket so far. Now, the maybe not such a big surprise, but Goga's averaging 18.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 1 assist per game on 62.5% shooting. And again, he has the same numbers as Franz from three-point land, 3 of 8 for 37.5% on one less game. So we'll look in the footage and you'll see that he's even taking on some of the grenade responsibilities. I don't know if you know the grenade term. That's whenever there's like 4 seconds left in the shot clock, the guy who has the ball in his hand kind of hot potatoes it to you, and then you got to do something with it. That's one of the reasons why Paulo, his efficiency isn't been what a lot of people would like, because he ends up having to do something with nothing really late in the shot clock and having to put up a less efficient shot. So I think that was what was interesting to me, watching him really take on the responsibility of being the one of the emotional leaders of the team, but also just being that person that wants the ball, wants the responsibilities, and is stepping up to the plate with the added responsibility he has in his role there. So if we look at the video, I'm going to start off with Franz, then we'll go to Tristan, and then we'll go to Goga. So Franz here is on the bottom of the screen, as you can see there in the corner. He's going to come up and he's going to take that pick. He's going to step back. Didn't have much of a hitch there, so that's good. There we go. So he's going to put pressure on the defense. He misses it. They played against Valanciunas, who plays in the NBA, and now he's going to be the backup in Denver. So they went at him a lot. They did a lot of switching with him in the second half as well. So you'll see Franz hits a three over him, and Daniel Tice, who is the 5 man on Team Germany, was just living at the 3-point line all by himself because Valanciunas can't really come out on the can't come out on the perimeter like that. So here, ball over. Here comes nice little inside out. Franz missed a bunch at the beginning of the game, I'd say. Some of the easy bunnies. Here's another one. Here he gets fouled. think the big thing here is to watch him push through that. Sometimes it seems that Franz gets a bit more amped. He's not like Giannis in the 2021 NBA Finals or anything like that, but he definitely was amped for this game, and he missed a few bunnies at the beginning of the game, right at the rim. But as the course of the game went on, he settled down and with drives like this in the open court with the lefty. Again, the lefty. He just keeps shooting with his left hand. He's having better opportunities than with his shot. So there he was kind of posting up a bit. So again, he does that with the Magic a lot in this season. He's one to run down the court and try to seal. So hopefully the Magic are able to get it to him a bit sooner this upcoming season, so he could take advantage of those mismatches. Because normally he's going to have a little guy on him who made the way back with him, so he could take full advantage of that. So here he's just on the perimeter, just like always. So this is something that would look very similar for us Magic fans. He ends up once he gets the guy on his hip, he just keeps the ball in his left hand, and then he's gonna make a nice pass to Tice for the alley oop. Once Valanciunas decides what he's up to. Again, you see they're running. That's what they're doing. That's why they've scored over 100 points in each of their three first games. They're just going for it. They're not settling. There he goes right in there. He missed a bunny. Oop, missed another one, but it's okay. Again, they're putting pressure on the defense, and that's really all you can ask. And he comes again by himself on his left. Ooh, we missed that one, but it was still again. I think he should focus on his left. That one's a nice driving one on his right. Gets the ball. This one's not so much of a fast break as you can see, but he's still, once he gets the guy on his back, that's just like on the Magic. She probably got fouled there, but didn't get the call. He goes, seals the foul, not and one. It was on the floor. So we see here, you see he's right on the corner. As I mentioned before in a past video, his corner three pointers are is actually his percentage is not bad. It's not at least as bad as the rest of them as the rest of the 3-point shots are. So I think he has an opportunity to be able to stay in the corners a bit more and get the ball there. So there's a lot of times you'll see when the play is happening on Team Germany that he starts off in the corner and then eventually migrates his way to the top of the key, either in a curl or through a back screen, and that's when he'll be able to make his drives. But if he kind of just stays at the corners, and I think if he gets the ball, catch and shoot, that's the thing that hasn't been as good of a percentage for him. So if that's something that he can develop when it comes to the 3-point range, it doesn't have to just be the losing the hitch and doing all this other stuff. It's really just location, I think. And once he's in the corners here, I think he has an opportunity to really shoot well from there. So the ball's there, shot clock's running down. No time for a hitch. As I mentioned before, when he doesn't have time, he doesn't have the hitch. There was a bunch of people online looking at the after the end of this game, like, oh, there's no hitch, there's no hitch. There is a hitch. But again, we can embrace the hitch. I'm now on team embrace the hitch at this point. That if that's what he needs to settle himself when he has the ball and he has time to think, if that's what it takes to settle himself, great. Just use that, but as long as he can replicate it, I think that's the only thing that would be asked of him in that situation. But as we see, if he has no time to think and he just catches and shoots, he's going to be able to make a lot of those threes because he has a good form and he has a good shot. So this one, Schroeder shoots from deep. Then this one is a nice easy rebound for him, crashing the boards. Good amount of rebounds in this game today. Easy too. There he goes at the guys again to start off the third. He had a good stretch to start the third, so that's what bumped up his numbers because he didn't play at least the second half of the fourth quarter. He really took time because again, this was a back to back really for these guys. They played yesterday and then they played a tougher team on the second night of a back to back. So hopefully Franz has this much gas the regular season for the back to backs that we have because if you remember from my schedule video, we are at a disadvantage in our back to back. So we're -1. We have 14 back to backs and 13 times when the other team is on their back to back. So here, picks Valanciunas' pocket. Nice, easy two. Like I said, he did a great job to start that third. Here's going to be that switch like I talked about. So now he's got Valanciunas. Valanciunas does not want to be out on the perimeter. So you can just see him trying to sit a bit, but again, he can't sit. His is more forward. So he's more leaning. But as you can see, he's like, what am I doing out here? You guys have screwed me in this one. So now Franz 100% was going to shoot this shot. Like you could have paid me any money. I would have told you Franz was shooting this shot. So there he goes. He just goes, boom, nice. But again, he didn't have as much time to think about it as much, so he was able to shoot it a bit more fluidly on there. But again, even if he has the hitch, as long as he can replicate it, embrace the hitch, everybody. So this is what I mentioned in the last video, just to showing his free throw. There's no hitch there. You see how it just goes straight? It's not as fast on there. It's a nice little pass. Tristan gets the dunk. Nice pass there. Here's going to have one more. Just again, we're talking about a catch and shoot, right? Like I mentioned, being over in the corner. So here he has a nice little catch and shoot. He takes it straight up, no hitch. Again, caught it and was able to go. So maybe you should just stop shooting off the dribble. Obviously, that's not going to be the case, but maybe that's what it is. Because when he grabbed that ball, he caught it. He ends up missing it because Valanciunas actually is tight on him. It was a bit of a surprise he shot it, but maybe he was feeling it and missed that one. But a lot less, of a hitch on his catch and shoots. So here they lob the ball into Valanciunas. There's a bit too much air under it. So Franz comes over and swipes it. So he had 3 steals. He ended up have 2 that I've shown there. A nice little midi push shot that I talk about all the time. He's got that push shot that seems to be working right now. So if he has that push shot, he doesn't have to shoot threes necessarily. Obviously, we want him to shoot threes because that's just going to open up the push shot. That's going to open up his driving lanes. But with the Magic having so many more shooters, I think in that way, by having Desmond being able to shoot or at least have the threat of shooting more than even what KCP came with last year, Franz and Paolo are going to be able to have driving lanes, and that's all we can ask for. And then if Goga starts for whatever reason, or if Wendell is able to recapture his 3-point shot, and if Goga continues his 3-point shot from EuroBasket, and he's the one that ends up starting instead of Wendell, with the shooters everywhere, forget it. Again, Franz doesn't have to shoot threes at that point. He can just keep on driving and taking advantage of those mismatches that he's going to create just because of his length and his ball handling. So now Tristan, we're going to look at Tristan. Tristan gets the ball there. As I mentioned, he hasn't been wide open. He doesn't need to be wide open. And no disrespect to him and saying that he needs to be wide open to shoot, but it just obviously is a bit easier of a shot if you're wide open. So in my player profile about him, as I mentioned, he's good from the corners. For whatever reason, once you hit above the break, he's not as good. So I think for me, I'd rather him be a bit more in the corner there because it also is further for the defender to be able to go. I know him being on this side, it's easier of a pass for Schroeder or for his teammates, but I don't think it's as efficient of a shot. Yeah, nice raise. Missed that one. Same thing here. The defender is with him, so he gives him a little pump fake, and he's going to drive on him. Comes over, nice little spin move, but it goes right into the defender. So I think that right there also isn't the best shot for him, but he challenges, misses it, but it was a creative shot nonetheless. Ball goes right there. Here's the one he hit. See, nice and fluid in the corner. Nice easy pass for the even the defender was there, just really didn't push that far because obviously, as you see, it's a 20-point lead at that point. So they're not playing the hardest of defenses, but still he didn't he still caught it nice and fluid and hit that shot. Then the last thing here is customary launch from the top of the key to end the game. For whatever reason, that's that. So that was Tristan's game. Now Goga was everywhere for his team. Like I said, he scored 35% of their points, scoring 22 of them. Here we go. He gets the ball here. The very first play. This is the very first play. Look at that. 9 minutes, 43 seconds into the first. First play, basically. Comes out, shooting the 3. Nice soft shot. Ugh, misses it. But again, that's showing that he's comfortable taking that shot now. So that's a good thing because he really didn't want to take that shot with the Magic last year. So now he's going to be deep post up, a little bit of an awkward shot. Hey, if it goes in, it goes in. That's all that matters. So here's some interior passing, or some pretty good interior passing by them. Look at that. Nice little bunny there. Baldwin. So now, because he hit a couple corner threes in the last game, that had to be put in the scouting report, really. That at this point, if he's going to start hitting threes, then people should be watching out for him in the corner. Here, they absolutely forget about him. So maybe they didn't update the scouting reports just yet. But then he goes, nice easy run, alley oop. That's what would happen in the NBA as well. If he starts hitting a couple of those corner threes, that's what I'm thinking Tristan's going to do as well. A lot of backdoor cuts and a lot of straight line drives from the corner to be able to get to the basket nice and freely. Another post up here. Nice little miss, but Goga is the one to it's a little difficult to be honest with Shangela, number 23. They both have the sleeve. They both have little ponytails. They both have a beard. So sometimes you get confused. But Goga with the N1 after the rebound there, just pounding his chest. Goga was having a game. Just got to hit his free throws. He didn't really hit his free throws as well as he should. So this is what I was talking about. You see how much time was off left in the shot clock? It was by the time he caught it, it was only maybe 1 or 2 seconds. So Baldwin had the ball for probably like 5 or 6 seconds at that point. Didn't really do anything with it. So Goga comes out and says, "Give me the ball," and he ended up shooting the three because the defender wasn't coming out that far because that was a deep three, but for Goga to take the responsibility to be the one to want to shoot that last minute, everything's gone wrong type of shot, I think that's a very big positive because that's something that's the kind of leadership, that's the kind of personality we need on the team that everyone needs to be able to contribute and everyone needs to be on that level when it comes to responsibility. So he misses that, but still, I love that he wanted to take it. And then Goga being Goga, getting that block comes through. Nice pass. Doesn't get the assist there, unfortunately, because the guy missed it, but still nice interior passing. As I mentioned in his player profile, Goga, for me, his untapped potential is his passing. He did have 5 turnovers in this game, to be fair, so he was a little loose with some of them. But some of them, it was really their teammates, his teammates, that couldn't handle the pass that Goga was sending out there. So here's another pick and slow roll. Nice little hook. Comes out here. Goga being Goga. Coming off the weak side. The guy looks like he has a nice, easy layup or dunk. And Goga says, "No, you don't." And look at him doing a little flex, saying, "No, no, no. Hey, I'm open. Don't forget about me. Here I am." Block and then a three. Woo-wee. If we get this Goga this upcoming season, it's going to be difficult for us to part ways with him because I know that's one of the big trade rumors is that Goga is going to be going out on in a trade just because of his reasonable salary and just the Magic are going to be so hard up soon when it comes to finances. But if he's shooting like that, our asking price could be higher if we are gonna trade him. But if not, then we have a five that actually is gonna be able to block shots and hit threes. We're gonna be real tough. Forget about the third place finish. A lot of people have us on. I think we'll be the number one seed and we'll be really tough in the playoffs. So here, a little deflection. Goga makes himself available. Takes his time, doesn't rush, which is great. Takes his time, knowing that there's not a lot of big shot blocking on Italy's team, so he knew he had some time to be able to get that shot up. See him here; he's all the way at the 3 point line again. But again, because he's hit a couple, you kind of sit there and be like, "Whoo, okay, is that the play that you guys want right now?" You're down 16 with 7 minutes left in the game, but again, Goga wants that responsibility. He missed that three there. But because he's shooting them, they have to respect it. And he gets an and one there. And then again, because he's been able to shoot them with confidence, missing them. But again, at that point, there's an instinct by the defender to close out. He's able to do a little dribble and another and one, trying to claw them back into the game, which they were not able to do, unfortunately. But that was still a great game by Goga in the end. So Team Georgia loses today, but for the Orlando Magic's purposes, Goga had the game that we would love for him to continue to have. Again, his role in the Magic is much less than it is on his national team, so we won't expect him to be out shooting threes very often, getting the ball in the post as often. That's just not the reality of the situation with the team that we have now. If something were to happen, unfortunately, to Wendell, and now Goga is going to be starting, or if something happens to any of our other bigs and Goga's role is going to be bigger, then we see that he can take that responsibility, that he's able to now hit a bit from the outside right now. You just got to keep hitting those free throws. I would say that would be the biggest knock on him right there. But if you have the defense and you have the 3-point shooting, a 3 and D center, there's not a lot of those in the NBA right now, so he would be extra valuable for the Orlando Magic. And again, right now he's seen as a luxury for the Magic, because we also have another big in Jonathan Isaacs that could theoretically play the 5 at points, and we have Orlando Robinson, one of our two-way players. So there is a good amount of depth at our center position, or in our big position. But for me, as I've mentioned before multiple times, I'd rather keep Goga on the team, because I knew there is this inside him. And hopefully Wendell bounces back, and hopefully Wendell is able to have a great season this upcoming season. But for me, it's I'd rather have Goga starting and having a bigger role with the Magic team. So that's a bit on Goga. If I had to give out the grades, let's say for their teams, for me, Franz with an A in this game, I would say B for Tristan. There are some of the shots that still he needs to not only make better decisions and not going directly into the defender like he did a couple times there, but still with his role that he's doing, he's playing the defense he needs to at the time that he is. So he's, I think, still playing his role. So he did an okay job in his role. So for me, that's a B. And Goga played an A game. He did have 5 turnovers, like I mentioned, but the team Georgia is just outmatched. Like, they won the game against Spain, which was a great win for them, but they're likely not going to make it out of the group stage. They might, especially if they're playing, if Goga's playing this way, and as long as they get Shangeli, probably their second best player, or at least their third best player, he was scoreless in this game. So without any help, Goga's not going to be able to do it all by himself. So we'll see. But if anything, we'll see how tomorrow goes for them, because they have another game. Team Germany is off tomorrow, so it'll be a bit of a shorter video tomorrow. Thank you very much for spending time with me. Don't forget to do the normal things. Hit that like, share the video, hit subscribe. We're at about 150 or so. Let's get to 200 in the next few weeks. That'd be ideal. And lastly, drop in the line what you thought the guys did, or how you thought the guys did this morning. So again, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I hope you're having a great day.